So we're doing the education theory, specifically problem-posing approach. I'm Tyler Klein.
Hi, I'm Dan Pierce.
I'm Jerry Forrest. Devin Ricky.
And we're going to start off by showing you guys a quote from Freire, which is in the reading from last night, and I'll read it aloud. "The learner is not an empty vessel to be filled by the teacher, nor an object of education. Studying is a form of reinventing, recreating, rewriting, and this is a subject, not an object's task."
So the quote shown is the problem-posing method of education, and the two images underneath are actually the banking method, which is the opposite that we're going to explain to you.
Yeah, so take a look at these two images, just sink them in, and these, we felt that they personified exactly the opposite of the lesson we're going to be teaching, so.
So what do you guys think about the quote? Hannah?
You gotta take a minute to...
like, would you change it? Do you agree with it? Like,
I pretty much agree with it, I think.
What aspects stand out to you? That
yeah.
I like the whole like reinventing, recreating, rewriting kind of thing, because it's like if we don't ever improve or like work on ourselves as students, then like we're not going to get anywhere. And the same thing goes for teachers.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's different than the banking method? From the illustrations and then from what Freire is saying.
Chase, what do you think?
Sorry? About the quote?
No, about the illustration.
Well, the second one is one that really stands out. Obviously, in school, they want you to memorize, and they focus less on the cognitive function and the rationale function of what learning.
Yeah. All right.
Any other comments?
I know for the second picture of memorize. One of my teachers used to do that all the time for his test. He would want everything word for word from his notes. So it was like, I need to memorize every single word, and then it was kind of hard to forget a word.
No.
Did you find like you just totally forgot it after the test?
Yeah.
Did you like that class?
Yeah.
All right.
Is that why you didn't like it? Because he did that?
Well, I didn't like it because he did that, but it was kind of easy because I didn't have to understand it. I just had to memorize it, and then I would just get a grade on it because I
Bloom's
didn't
taxonomy, you don't have to understand it, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so the main differences between problem-posing education and the banking method are that in problem-posing education, you're supposed to be a co-equal with your teacher. So they're teaching you as well as you're teaching them. So the whole point of that is that you can apply the information you're learning to life. So it's not just that memorize these vocab words, spit them back on a test tomorrow, and then 2 months from now you're not going to remember the information because you don't need to. Why? You've already had the test. So that's kind of like the SAT prep, in which you just memorize vocab words and you're not really, thinking about it or doing group work or anything. So the problem-posing method, on the other hand, is, it's knowledge beyond the test. So what we're doing, for example, in Howard, is we're not saying, here's 25 vocab words, memorize them, and we're going to quiz you tomorrow. We're saying, get in a group and discuss this, do this activity, apply what we're teaching you to these, group discussions. And the activities that in Wednesday, anyone in the Wednesday team, we did an acting thing. And in that way, you're not just, memorizing for the test, you're learning, and then that knowledge will go beyond when the test is over. And that's the main point of the problem-posing method of education, as well as you and your teacher are more co-equal and just like, I'm teaching you, you are memorizing, and that is all.
So how do you guys think that we can get from the traditional method of teaching to the problem posing, with also taking into consideration hidden voices, which was in the reading for last night, which basically are in general emotions that students have, that could be a low self-esteem, that could be different socioeconomic feelings. All these impact their learning and may hinder their ability to understand things. So with that in mind, do you guys have any ideas of how we can move from a traditional educational teaching standpoint to more of a problem-posing one? Have you guys noticed any examples in your own teaching teams at Howard? Or are we all just teaching traditionally?
I think a lot of it is like a balance between inclusion and individual attention. So like they need to feel like they're a part of a bigger group even if they have those individual problems. And then they also need to feel like the teacher cares about them specifically, like as far as one-on-one attention.
Okay. Anyone else who would like to share? Alright, cool.
Alright, we're gonna ask you to draw a picture, like these political cartoons of what you believe
quick
problem-posing education is. And it can be like a quick sketch with like 6 figures or whatever, and like
Yeah.
a little word bubble. But it has to be about what you think problem-posing education was, what Jamie was talking about.
We don't need real artists here, just
So
general
take a minute,
idea.
do that, and we'll share.
Something fun. How long did you have these?
Yeah, but we get points off.
Oh, okay. That's,
In the interest of time, just take a couple more seconds to put some touches on there, try to get an idea down, and we can briefly discuss it.
Does anyone have anything that they want to share? Anything that's awesome?
Just an
Is
idea or
anyone
concept.
going to have something awesome? Anything fun? No? That's awful.
Bless you. Bless you.
Are there any-
Someone's got to want to share.
I didn't write it, I didn't draw a sketch, but I was thinking about that image of, it's like a clip art kind of thing, where it's the world and it's people holding hands, like children
Yeah,
holding
right,
hands
uh-huh.
around the world. And I like it because it's not in the classroom and it's
Yeah.
that co-equal idea.
Yeah, that's a good example. You raise your hand?
Oh yeah, well just look at the whole reinventing and recreating thing, like, instead of just like, say you have like material X and you're teaching that, instead of just relating X to all the students, like, if one student understands it in a different way, like, change it so they understand it specifically.
Yep.
So, like, you would manipulate the information for, like, individual students, so they can understand it in their own way.
Yeah.
Alright, well,
Alright.
that concludes our, hope you guys know a little more about the education.
Thank you.